What's up, ladies? What's up, gentlemen? What's up, my lovely supporters? Y'all see the title. We're gonna get it. I don't really know what she doing with her life ever since she got famous for saying these two favorite words that most girls don't even know how to really do properly. Because oh y'all just trying to look pretty. Like you don't want to look pretty when you're doing it. I want you to use extra. Hey, I ain't gonna get into too much detail. Let's go.
Hot to.
You gotta put like an emphasis on like to. Yeah. Say it. All right, all together.
Hot to.
Hot to.
Wow, listening to this is a wonderful use of my day. Now, I've seen a lot of pointless podcasts that did not need to exist in my time. Like, just a few weeks ago, we looked at that podcast that I can't even remember the name of off the top of my head. I think it was called, like, the Empowered Podcast or something.
When you come back from work, you're tired, bro. You just want to go to bed. I can't wait for holiday.
Sometimes I'm in bed and I'm like, bro, I need to brush my teeth.
And that was pointless. But this just takes it to a whole new level. For those somehow unfamiliar with the hilarious viral sensation of Hot Tuah, this is Hayley Welch. And she went viral a few months back for her response to an on-the-street interview by a channel called Tim and DTV.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hot to and spit on that thing.
But the thing is, right? Why are y'all giving the glory to her? Because guess what? If he didn't interview her, this would have never happened. This would have never happened. If he would have never interviewed her, this would have never happened. But like I say, listen, just for saying two words, I can say two words. I can say, just stick it in. That's what I can say. Then I can go viral. But really just two words, like, come on. And then, like I just said, most of y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all just getting it. Y'all just putting the spit on it. Y'all ain't even trying to do nothing. Like, I want you to perform real good. For sure.
Funniest shit I ever seen in my life. Incredible. This still makes me heartily belly laugh. And apparently the world did too, because she became very famous overnight for this. There was merch and everything. Let's have a look at some of it. Some of it is incredible. Alright, so we got the Hot Tuah 24, spit on that fang. Brilliant. I'd wear that to my wedding. American flag Hot Tuah. Eat, sleep, Hot Tuah, repeat. Again, I would wear this to the birth of my first child. If she don't huck to her, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to her. This one's just grim. It's just grim for some reason. She's also been making bank from public appearances, apparently charging up to $30,000 per one. Well, that's my future child's first birthday party sorted, and I'll be stood there in the corner in my unofficial Huck Tour merch. But something I've not seen anyone talk about is how weird the actual interview was.
Okay, I got another one for y'all.
Okay.
Would you rather? Hold on, is she listening?
Would you rather?
Would you rather have back shots for the rest of your life or missionary for the rest of your life?
Hey, what are we doing here? Going up to girls outside a bar going, what's better, missionary or back shots? I'm not sure if this is like a normal thing to do in America, and I very much doubt it is. But if you did that in the UK, you get called a weird nonce and laughed at until you went away. And that isn't the only strange interview she's done. She did this one with KIIS or KISS, I don't know how you pronounce that, an Australian radio station after she blew up, and it's fucking weird. I was trying to think of a more descriptive word for it, but the best way I could describe it is just fucking weird.
They all know who you are for such a funny little thing. Do you really, Tonga, or were you just having a laugh there?
Come on, you know that's fake, and you know that's cap. You know that's cap. They don't know how to do it. She don't know how to do it.
Oh, man.
That's cap.
Really? The first question you have to ask this 21-year-old girl, do you actually huck to her? Man, come on, why are we doing this? Come on.
I was just having a laugh there.
But you're not a spitter.
Come on now, come on, surely you're better than this. It doesn't stop there. I think he catches himself being weird and like just stumbles over his words.
Yeah, crazy.
Yes or no? No.
I'm trying to know.
But anyway, there was clearly a large demand for regular hour-long content with her, so she answered the prayers of the many and announced her podcast called Talk Tuah. Huck Tuah, but you're talking Tuah. Very clever wordplay.
I'm Haley Wells. A little while ago, my life took a complete left turn and it changed forever. And along the way, I realized that everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
What does that even mean? Saying Huck Tuah gave you a new insight and perspective on life that made you realise that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Did you not realise that before? What? I think she's just saying stuff that you try. Fair enough. But what are you trying to say? This? I realise that everybody's entitled to their own opinion. How did this make you realise that?
But now, it's my time to talk. Check out my podcast every week, Talk Tuah, where I'm sitting down with the coolest guests and having actual conversations with them.
Okay, well that's good.
Who? Alright. Let's just be realistic. I know about 1 in 2,000 people is actually watching this. Nobody didn't even watch it. Actually, ever since she got famous, I didn't even hear about her
Good
no
and
more.
novel. There's not many podcasts out there where people get guests on and have actual conversations with them. There was really a gap in the market for that, I think. Now, this podcast is ran by Jake Paul's company, Better, which, as you might be able to guess, is a betting site. And Jake, little piece of advice for you here. Keep funding this podcast. It is a very wise and shrewd decision, and this will no doubt return you millions. Every week, people from all over the world will be waiting with gleeful anticipation for the next episode of Talk Tuah. Anyway, let's watch this episode because that's what this video is about.
Come on, Haley, it's not that bad. All right, it's time to get out of the bed and quit writing. Haley, get up.
All right, I'm ready to talk.
Get in! Talk Tuah, us, Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get it? It's the name of the podcast. It kind of sounds like Huck Tuah, which is the phrase she said. Only intellectuals will understand this.
And I want you guys to get to know me better than Hawk Tuah.
Good thing you called your podcast Talk Tuah then, because people will surely forget about that with that sort of branding.
No, it's Tuah. Like, you really got to put your emphasis. Yeah, you're not saying Tuah, you're saying Tuah. You know? Like, you got to really put your back into it. Tuah.
How fucking sick of saying that phrase do you think she is? Huck and Tuah have probably been half of the words she said in the past 3 months.
You're right.
Haley.
Hawk Tuah.
Now, this may come as a shock to you, but this podcast is kind of uneventful. I know. Who would have guessed that, eh? In fairness to her, her presenting ability isn't bad at all for someone who got thrown into this like 3 months ago, and this is her first ever podcast.
All right, quick question. How many times do you think she said that in a day? How many times? I guarantee you. I'll say at least 40. She had to say that on 40. No, wait. Actually, no. I think she just playing the character for real. Because I don't even think this is how she is on the camera, off camera. She just a normal person.
First ever podcast
episode that she's hosting. And she seems a nice enough person, but there's not a lot of substance to the first episode, like, at all. There is really no reason for this podcast to exist. It just feels like someone's gone, she's quite popular, let's just give her a podcast because it might do well. We might be able to get people onto our betting site. But one of the most interesting things to happen on this podcast is she kind of alludes to Jake Paul being a bit of a dick.
Jake's pretty wild.
He's a little spooky to talk to. That's like a fan, you know.
And what are you noticing in the difference between being a fan of someone from afar and then meeting them? Like, is it what you expected?
He was exactly what I expected. Like, he lets on like he's an asshole, and that's what I like about him. He owns up to that shit. He knows.
That's kind of big in the first 4 minutes of your first podcast your boss is funding to just go, yeah, he's a bit of a shit. I respect it. I respect that massively. They then go on to talk about Botox for a bit, and it is astoundingly uninteresting.
I get a little myself. I call it Brotox when I do it. So when you start young, you're actually just getting rid of whatever wrinkles would pop up.
Well, yeah, but if you get all that shit done when you're young, by the time you're 20...
I always wanted to do a podcast. And I always did. Because, look, every time, this is what I'll be doing. I already told you this. Every time, like, on TikTok, I'll just be scrolling on live. And then I'd say, okay, just add me up. And then you just interview me. And then that's how the likes be. That's how the views be coming up. Because of me, like, for real. You know, just ask me any question on the podcast. And, hey, that's it. And I did DM some influencers like, hey, bring me on the podcast. They didn't see it. But watch that shit like 6 months later.
27, you look like a lizard and you can't move your eyebrows. This is just big cope in my opinion. Oh yeah, I get Botox, but it's just like, it prevents, my face from moving.
Here's the thing. Number one, if you're a girl and you get Botox, number one, you're going to attract pedophiles.
What the fuck are you even on about? If anything, I found that Botox makes people actually look older. They just look more smooth. Are we really that out of things to say already that we're at the point of going, yeah, anyone attracted to someone with Botox is a massive pedo? What are you talking about? What does that even mean? I feel like maybe this is a joke. I don't know. But it's not delivered like a joke.
But like, so that's something that is such a breath of fresh air about
It is. I agree. So I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was never the biggest football fan. I honestly don't even get the rules that much. But what I do know is I like having fun and winning money. And Better Picks lets you win up to 1,000 times your money. The app is super easy and it makes it 1,000 times more fun.
10 minutes into the first ever episode and we're already getting an uncharismatic ad read for a betting site. Hell yeah! I wasn't familiar with your game, but the fact you're promoting such a service that allows people to make loads of money is very respectable. This will no doubt change lives.
Hey, the thing is with the parlays, you know that it's rigged, but we just still do it, just have the thrill of it, right? I don't know what. Oh yeah, Hard Rock. Downloaded Hard Rock, and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking that I'm about to win, and then guess what? It's either I win, it's either that I come close to a win, I get one loss, or I'm just all the way off. I get everything wrong, but. You just gotta just keep trying. I actually stopped. I stopped for the mental space. I did. Would I still be better? I don't know, cause I lost a lot, and I just lost every time. But it wasn't really like I was putting too much money in it. But cause sometimes, and then look, sometimes on Instagram, right? I be seeing people like, oh yeah, go ahead and follow. Right, go ahead and follow this prize pick person. They'll tell you all the plays. And guess what? They lied. And I did exactly what you did. The Bengals or whatever, baseball, MJs, whatever. I did everything and I still lost. Don't bet. Don't bet if it's best for you. Don't.
For the better. We should be more thankful for betting sites and casinos, I think, because they're really out here just giving free money to people. It's so kind of them. They're basically charities.
Just imagine if Chelsea said fuck to it and not you that night. Would Chelsea be sitting in that chair?
Okay, now these are the big questions I came to this podcast for. If her mate said fuck to her instead of her, would she be the one sat in that chair? Would she be the one with the 30-gram public appearances? Would she be the one with the fuck to her merch? This is a philosophical question that people will be asking and studying for centuries to come. It's the modern if a tree falls and no one is there to hear it. Did it really fall? If Hayley Welsh's friend said fuck to her instead of her, would she be hosting the Talk to Her podcast instead?
I can't do it. Do it.
You do it.
No, you do it.
Hot to.
You gotta put like an emphasis on like to. Yeah. Say it all together.
Hot to.
Hot to. Say it aggressive. Like
Hot to. Like you're mad.
It's funny because she acting like she created the word. You didn't create the word. And I'm just so curious. Do you use that in the performance? Do you actually use that sound in the performance? If you do, hey,
mad at it today. You're mad at it.
You don't.
Talk to a podcast. You have won the internet today.
I think we need to do. I don't know, like a bar crawl where we get you drunk and try to get you a slogan.
This podcast is so dead. It's actually amazing. Like, it's just dead on arrival. They already have nothing interesting at all to say. And look, I don't blame Hayley at all. She's just secure in the bag and riding this wave she's caught. And honestly, she is the best person on this podcast. Like, these two have said absolutely nothing of interest to anyone who has ever lived on Earth. And this person just annoys me. But to be fair, she does tell some stories of interest. Like, she talks about...
But that's the thing with the podcast. So look, every podcast that you watch, it's gonna be the talkative person. It's gonna be the person that don't even talk at all. They just listen. And it's going to be the other person that disagreeing to the talker that's saying something.
About her ear getting
Yo,
bit by
no,
a
I'm
statue,
right.
which is a pretty mental story. And she does carry the conversation, and she's the guest. So where does it go from here? Are the guests just going to be carrying every episode? I don't know, I said Hayley is the best person on this podcast, but she acts more like a guest than the host. Do you know what I mean? Why am I analysing the Talk to a podcast this much? What am I doing? But the thing is, the podcast is just based off someone saying something that will make you giggle to yourself for like 1 second. I don't see how this lasts more than 10 episodes. And that's being generous. Like, what more is there to say after that?
But if they have a fan, that's better.
Do you remember that game I mentioned beforehand where you can win up to 1,000 times your money? Well, turns out it gets even better. Better Picks is offering a deposit match up to $200 and a free pick for all new users. So basically, if you put like $200 in, they match it. That's $400 right there.
What? That's free money! Oh, that's so generous! I very much doubt there is any catch or downside to that. Tell you what,
It is.
Jake Paul, he's such a generous bloke, isn't he? He's giving away $200. Wow. God bless him.
Okay, maybe not.
Shit on that thing! That respect!
I'm not doing this anymore. Like and subscribe.
Hey, y'all witnessed it. That's it. That's it. Ladies, bring it in. My fellows, let's go. Y'all witnessed it. And this is what I want y'all to do. This is your homework for today. Watch an episode of the podcast and just tell me how it is. Am I going to watch it? No. Will I watch it? No. That's it.